welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Dave beside me, occupancy down below, and we are ready to break down some Tuesday hockey. We will have the other picks, college basketball section at the end. Tim and Nick are not here, but Dave is, and I'm sure Dave has at least one play that he will probably give out in college basketball. Probably not 100 plays like Tim and Nick, but no, I'm just kidding. But I'm sure he'll have one. We'll start the show as we usually do, and that is take a look at the current show standings. Not a whole lot changed. Obviously, NFL went up a little bit. Dave winning his best bet. NHL went down a little bit. NBA kind of even. College basketball started down almost 0.63 units. Overall, the show up 23.56 units. Looking at NHL here, not a whole lot changed. I think we got a couple dogs won, a couple totals won. It was pretty much an even day when it came to best bets in hockey. NBA ended up being a pretty much even night across the board. Still profitable in every category here. NFL, as I said, not much change. Dave won his best bet, but nobody else did any NFL yesterday. College football, exactly the same. College basketball, best bets off to a little bit of a rough start. Dog of the day, over under, going well so far, but it's one day of picks. So a lot more college basketball coming from some of the guys on the channel. And then other sports is exactly the same as it was. But we will get into today's slate. We have a big slate. We'll go over most of the games. Then I have 4 games in the goalie poll segment to go over at the end. But we'll start the show with looking at a very interesting game. We have the St. Louis Blues and the Philadelphia Flyers. Here in this one, my only NHL pick yesterday, a Rangers minus 1.5, as I continue to fade this St. Louis team. You can currently get St. Louis minus 114 to minus 120 favorites on the road here. Philadelphia minus 106 to plus 105. Sixes right across the board in this one. I'll start off with the Blues have the better roster. I think we can all agree that the Blues have a much superior roster over the Philadelphia Flyers. But if you look at what the Blues have done, their last 7 games, that is lose all 7 in regulation, all 7 by multiple goals. This Blues team is not playing well. Just played last night, and now they have to come into Philadelphia. Yes, Philadelphia doesn't have a very talented roster overall, but they have Carter Hart, who is confirmed in this game, who has a 1.89 save percentage, I believe, and a over 940 save percentage. I think it's like 940 something or 950. Like, it's unreal the way Carter Hart has played this year. The Flyers players are playing for John Tortorella, and this Flyers team is an underdog at home against this Blues team that has lost 7 games in a row by multiple goals. Give me Flyers money line, which I got at plus 115 yesterday. Now you have to go for plus 100, plus 105. I'd still take that. And I wouldn't talk anybody off sprinkling the reverse puck line, Philly minus 1.5, as the Blues continue to lose by multiple goals. I could see it happening again, and you could get a very nice plus price with that one. Ultimately, I'm just sticking with the money line. A player prop, if anybody was looking at player props, I am looking to do some point parlays. That's what I like to do. Take anywhere from 3 to 5 players to get a point on these big slates. And with Philadelphia, I'm looking at Travis Konechny. He is the best Flyers forward and has been their best offensive player all year long against the Blues. I believe it will be Thomas Greiss in net for the Blues. I don't think there's anything confirmed yet, but Carter Hart is confirmed for the Flyers. Dave, Blues and Flyers, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I actually, one of the 2 games I have a play on, it's real simple to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. The Blues have been sucking a butt lately, 7 games in a row. I hit against them in the Kings, and then I've been real selective with the Flyers. I've bet them 2 other times. They've cashed 2 times. This will be the third. I'm on the Flyers. I got it at plus 110, and it's obviously down around even money now, plus 100. So I guess like minds think alike. But that's why. And by the way, you're talking about who has a better roster. Well, who had the better roster, the Dodgers or the Phillies? Who went to the Super Bowl? Who went to the World Series? That doesn't mean shit. The Blues.
No, but I was pointing it out because
Yeah.
it's still, they do have. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
I gotcha. Blues are playing bad. We're playing better, so they're kind of coming back, regressing back to the mean. But this is a Flyer spot. If you're giving me plus money to bet the Flyers here, I mean, I'd even probably, lay a couple cents in this game just because the Blues are so bad. But anyways, Flyers money line.
All right. Occupancy, Blues and Flyers. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, coming to this game, both teams are lower end in goals for a game. St. Louis 32nd in the league right now at 2.2, and Philadelphia 30th in the league at 2.55. The bigger discrepancy, I think, though, is with the goals allowed per game. Philly currently sitting at 6th in the league right now in goals allowed to St. Louis's 28th. So as was mentioned, Carter Hart's playing phenomenally. I don't know if, like, I had one bet on the card to be against a team who's lost 7 in a row, who's won the cup. It probably wouldn't be the Flyers, but in a unit system on an NHL Tuesday, I could only bet the Flyers here. I'm coming at this game with a slightly different angle. I'm taking a look at Carter Hart saves over 27.5. He's hit this in every game this year, like truly at 100%. The thing is Philly doesn't let up a lot of shots on average, and then St. Louis has just not had the offensive clicking. We used to look last year and have Tarasenko, anytime goal over 3.5 shots, and it was clicking. Like everyone remembers last year with that Kyrou, Buchnevich, all these players. Now, you're lucky to hit maybe one or two, 1 or 3 props on the Blues at this point of the season. And, I don't think this lasts forever, this Blues team. But running into Philadelphia in their house with the way they play in this style, like I said, I would only bet Flyers here. This Carter Hart prop is like staring me down. I think I'll get to it, but I'll definitely tweet out anything finalized. That's all I got for this game.
All right. Yeah. Isaac said he is going to tail you on that one. And I think that's a really good look as well. This Blues team, like I said, they do have the better players overall, and the faster players. So they most likely will be shooting the puck more. They should have more shots than the Flyers overall. So I like that. Backing Carter Hart right now is kind of a no-brainer, really, with how he's played.
He's dialed in.
Going into other teams that are struggling and on a back-to-back, we have the Calgary Flames and the New Jersey Devils. Here, you can get Calgary a plus 119 to plus 125. New Jersey is now minus 138 to minus 146. 6.5s. I do see some 7s available in this one here. A lot of people are on the Flames yesterday, and I just couldn't see it. I couldn't quite understand why this team's not playing well. Yes, they had their homestand, first game on the road, but still they blew that lead to the Islanders, and the Islanders came back and won overtime. Now they get to play again, like a team that just beat them a couple nights ago, a team that obviously didn't have to play last night, so it's the more rested team. But the Flames have had success in New Jersey. But the Flames had success at home against New Jersey, and that streak ended. I took the Devils' money line yesterday at minus 115. Now, obviously, it's minus 138 to minus 146. Sometimes you have to bet lines early. When I saw that the Devils were minus 115, I knew that wasn't going to last long, especially with Markstrom starting yesterday. It should be Dan Vladar today. He got lit up his last game. This New Jersey team, um, I think their improvement is finally starting. Their all the young players they have, all the skill they have is finally starting to show, and they're winning games. So I'm backing the Devils money line at minus 115. Now at this point, looking at minus 140, I'd have to go with in regulation at this point. And I could understand why people would want to take Calgary at this price. They're plus 125. They are going to bounce back at some point. So I can understand why someone would want to take the Flames today. But like the Blues, Flames, Penguins, they're all teams that are hugely struggling right now that I cannot back and most likely will bet against until I see some changes. Dave, Flames. Oh, and in this game, I'm looking at Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, or Nico Hischier, which are the top three players for the Devils. I was on Bratt his last game, of course, the only game this year he did not get a point. But I think he bounces back. Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier as well. Dave, Flames and Devils. Any thoughts on this one?
No.
Right, no worries. Occupancy, Flames and Devils.
Yeah, when I was capping this game, I got a couple angles with it. Obviously, the Devils are playing really good hockey. They're currently fifth in the league in goals for per game, 3.67. Seventh in the league in goals allowed, 2.58. Vitek Vanacek is taking the role in the starters crease really well, and the team's rallying behind him. This is a team that I'm looking to back. There are a couple of different ways to approach it, and everyone bets differently. But one stat that I look at is the points percentage and the winning percentage of teams. And last year, the President's Trophy winning Panthers ended with a 74% points percentage. So right now, the Devils are at a 750. And the only teams above them are Boston at an 846 and Vegas at an 846. So I don't expect those numbers to stay as high. But I do think the Devils will win tonight. But I split the bet up. So I'm on the Devils team total over 3.5, the Devils on the full game money line, and the Devils in the first period. I think they will get the outcome with this game. Calgary's letting up way more goals than their game plan is over the summer. 3.36 a game, 22nd in the NHL. That's toward the lower end. They're missing key players on the blue line. We haven't seen Oliver Shillington, Stone's out, and Tanev. So they really missed that core with the new players. And like you watch some of these games and you saying, "Oh, put Johnny out in OT," and there's no Johnny anymore. There's no Matthew. So there's just a different look, and Daryl's getting used to like what weapons he has, and I think how to put everyone together is like taking time. I mean, they're still playing really well, and they're a great team. Vladar 1-2 record coming into the game, 3.81 goals against, 865 save. To Vanacek's 5-1 record, 2.21 goals against, 908 save, and the one shutout. I got to go with the Devils here. I think Calgary gets it together, just maybe in a week or two in November. That's how I see this game going. And props, of course, be looking towards the people Terry said. Can never go wrong. I usually take Hischier, shot somewhere, Brad as well. And then if you're looking for some lower lines, Dawson Mercer, Damon Severson, Yegor Sharangovich, those are all been good tickets. I think they come out firing. They're second in the league right now in overall shots for, and they played less games than Florida and LA, so they know how to fire the puck. This could be, you could bet this one game all day, and have a field day with it. I mean, this and a couple games on the slate are going to be really good games today. So definitely tune in.
For sure. We'll go on along to the next. Tim says, "Sup guys," and Isaacs, we meet again. So we may have a rumble here in the chat. Going on to Vegas and Toronto. Potentially the game of the night here. We have the Golden Knights and the Maple Leafs. You can find Vegas minus 108 to plus 105. Toronto minus 112 to minus 120. 6.5s right across the board in this one. Again, I beat line movement taking my bets yesterday. I got Vegas at plus 111. Now you'd be looking at plus 105 at the best spots for the Golden Knights. Vegas is just surprised me. I did not expect Vegas to come out nearly this strong. I was actually lower on Vegas this year than in previous years, but they have proved me wrong, and I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about them. And I've been backing them lately quite happily, and I've been making money on them. Plus money here in Toronto. Toronto on their third string goaltender with Eric Holgren. He did play very good, very well against Carolina, but now he's going to have to play this Vegas team in a second game because Samsonov is injured. Matt Murray apparently is skating, but it's likely once he's back, he'll last 1 or 2 games before he gets hurt again, based on his previous history. So Leafs have goaltending issues, and Vegas does not have goaltending issues. Yes, they're starting to come back down to earth a little bit, but both goaltenders are absolutely killing it for Vegas. I don't think they should be plus money right now. Yes, Toronto looks like they are catching fire again, but I have to take Vegas as I did at plus 111. And at this point, I would still take them at plus 105. I like the Golden Knights here in Toronto. Dave, Golden Knights, Maple Leafs. What do you think of this one?
Sorry, I was looking at something. I don't have a play in this. I like the way the Golden Knights play, so I tend to like to try to find a way to back them. But at a game where both teams have the same, I don't know enough about hockey, and both teams have the same, basically the same odds. I do want to look at who is leading the NHL in shots per game. Boston, I think I've got it up here. Yeah, Vegas is towards the top. League average is 31 shots, and they're actually, wait a minute. Let's do this. Yeah, 34. All right. It just seems like they play a type of aggressive. They have an aggressive game, or at least the games that I've seen, where they don't sit and worry about all this rinky-dinky. Let's pass it to each other and look cute. It's just like fire away and see what we can do. That's all I have to say about it with my limited knowledge, but. I'm going to find ways to bet. I'm going to find ways to fade the Leafs because even though it is grammatically correct, I just hate how the name looks. So,
all right. Well, one thing you'll learn once we get to playoffs is fading the Leafs is going to make you some money.
Oh, I know. They got like they've won like a shit ton of cups, but not for like 60 years or something.
No, they have only won 6 Stanley Cups, and they haven't won one since '67. But I believe they haven't went past the first round since I think 2003. So 19 years currently. Occupancy, Golden Knights and the Maple Leafs. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, taking a look at both these teams, I took a look back, and the Knights do really well on these East Coast trips. Last year, they went and did the gauntlet with Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Detroit, and they went 2-2. And then they actually swept 4-4 in December in the Tri-State and Boston. This Vegas team comes out here, they're out of the house, they're away from the kids, and they're, duplexes and condos in Vegas or whatever, and then they're here to work. That's how I see it. I think that the Leafs did Leafs things over the last week. I don't know how to say it other than that. I mean, they beat Boston, Carolina. They can flex every now and then as well. But I think Vegas comes in here and they're focused, and I think they get it done. Number one right now in the league in goals against per game. Logan Thompson is a different animal. I got to see him play in the Shark Tank last year. He wants to be in there. He jumps around the crease. It's really fun to watch this kid. 6-2 on the year, 2.01 goals against, 934 save, 2 shutouts. What I'm realizing, and now I go into like second, third season, full time doing this with hockey. Goalies and pitchers are really similar. Like when you cap, I always look when I do baseball to see how the team fares when a certain pitcher starts. And I'm not even talking necessarily about the first 5 result or just like how does the team win on the money line when I remember Gonsolin on the Dodgers, a couple of people like down the road, the team just likes to play in front of them. And I think we see this in hockey all the time too. When people fade Halak or something, or all these players we keep an eye out for. So I'm gonna back Thompson here. Shalgren, this kid's okay. Like he's good. I think he's like your average third string goalie. I split the bet up as well. Again, took Vegas on the money line, team total over 3.5, and in the first period as well. I don't know what else to say. I think they're going to come in and do Vegas things. Player props I did not get to yet. I was taking a look at the saves lines for Thompson. He's hit it, but then sometimes Vegas really just shuts down and doesn't even let them shoot. So I don't know what kind of game we're going to get, maybe on a I don't even know what's going on in November in Toronto, but I'll stick with the away dog and hope for a good game.
All right. Thanks for reminding me. Screw Halak for that Rangers L on Sunday. Yeah, the Rangers, that's one great example. The Rangers play a lot differently in front of Shesterkin than their backup. And you think that they would want to play more defensively in front of their backup, but it seems to be the quite opposite. They just don't seem to care too much when their backup is in net. So definitely occupancy is right about that. You want to see how teams do with their goalies, and it all really matters. And in that Vegas game, Jack Eichel is my player to get a point. If anyone's going to get a point on Vegas, it's going to be Eichel as their number one center. Moving on to this one, a game I was looking at right away yesterday. You can get Edmonton plus 140 to plus 155. Tampa Bay minus 164 to minus 180. 6.5s right across the board in this one here. I was hoping that Stuart Skinner would start yesterday, so Jack Campbell would start today. And that is exactly what I got. Jack Campbell has struggled this year. Now he comes to face Tampa Bay on the second night of a back-to-back, and he's going to face Andrei Vasilevsky in this one. And when you look at what Edmonton has done in their last 9 games in Tampa, they've lost all 9. 7 of the 9, they lost by multiple goals. So Tampa has absolutely taken it to the Oilers on home ice. Edmonton on a back-to-back with a goalie that's struggling. Tampa's rested, ready to go for this one. Give me Tampa Bay puck line. I was looking at this yesterday. I got Tampa Bay minus 1.5 at plus 155. You're now looking at plus 145 to plus 130, 36. So definitely shop around. Bet your lines early, especially in some situations. And others, like the Minnesota Wild, a game we'll get to a bit later. I waited to bet till today. Sometimes the lines will move in different ways, but I like the spot for Tampa Bay against a team they've dominated. Dave, Oilers, Lightning. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, what you said? Vasectomies in goal.
Vasilevsky, yes.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know playing this game. I didn't really look at it, but I mean, it seems too. Well, by the Lightning or the Dogs.
No, Lightning are favorites, minus 164.
Oh yeah, minus 1. Yeah, no way in hell I'd bet that because of the odds. Go for it if that's your deal. But good goalie, one of the best goalies versus a not so good goalie. I'm gonna take the good goalie. I'm not betting the game. The only way to bet it would be the puck line, right?
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it is. You could take them in regulation. You could probably get
Minus 110, 115. Yeah.
I might do that if I was. I'm not betting this, but just.
But I like the puck line. This is a great spot for Tampa. And Ice X is throwing a tomato at somebody. People are laughing. People are having a good time in the chat, which is awesome. We'll move. We won't move right along.
No fun
We'll
here,
skip
guys.
occupancy.
We're
Sorry,
moving
occupancy.
on. We're moving on, Terry. I know it's a TNT game, and I should, as an NHL capper, have something in this game. I wish this was Wednesday's game. I'm not involved.
Hey, you don't have to bet every game. But we'll move on along to the next one. We've got the Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets. In this one, you can get Dallas anywhere from minus 115 to minus 120. Winnipeg, minus 105 to plus 101. Sixes right across the board in this one here. And for me, I was ready to bet this game. Was looking around for the best price, and I got the regulation draw at plus 338. 5 of the last 6. Sorry. 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone to overtime between these two teams. Winnipeg has had the more success at home against Dallas, but Dallas 4-0-1 in the last 5 meetings. So both of these teams have found ways to beat the other, and it's gone to overtime a lot. So I'm taking the draw, a plus 338 in this one. Dave, Stars and Jets, what do you think here?
When were the Stars in Minnesota? Wasn't it years
Up
ago?
until 1991
Yeah.
and 1969 to 1969 to, or is it 67? 1967 to 91.
I think. Well, I know that the Mighty Ducks movie came out in like 92 or 93, but the thing that I look at the Stars is that was the team or the AAA team or whatever that Emilio Estevez was on after he went back into the league after the first movie and the second one. Anyways, that's what I always think about when I see the Stars, but I have no opinion on this game. I've been on the Stars team total a couple times. I don't know who it was, if it was Terry or whoever said the Stars aren't that good. Aren't they leading their division?
Whoever said the Stars aren't good.
Oh, someone
and
said they aren't that, or anyways, someone poo-pooed a couple times that I've taken the Stars team total, but
Oh, don't worry about the people, Dave. Stars are one of the best teams in the NHL.
Do I ever worry about other people's opinions? Come on, guys. Jesus. In fact, look who's back.
All right. Richie says Stars 7-3 in reg. I'm assuming that means this year. I'm assuming he's talking about this year, but they are cutting the lawn outside. So I apologize for all the noise that is happening outside.
Isn't it snowing up there?
No, I think
Sorry?
they got a heat wave.
Oh, in Alberta it was snowing, not in Toronto.
We will move on along to the next game, or we will attempt to move along to the next game. We have the Nashville Predators and the Seattle Kraken. In this one, I apologize, guys. You can find Nashville plus 100 to plus 105, Seattle minus 118 to minus 120. Sixes right across the board in this one. And I skipped over both of you for this. Did I skip over you, occupancy? For the last game?
Yeah, I don't have anything on the side. Player props, and you won't even like it because you don't like this player. But Ryan Suter had 3 shots on Saturday, and then Dennis Guryanov. I mean, these are people you probably won't have heard of, but I'm on them. I like Mason Marchment as well. A lot. I think shot props for the Stars is how I would go about that game.
All right. I apologize for skipping over you. The lawn cutters were
we
getting
can't
my
even
attention.
hear it, dude. I can't hear it.
Oh, you couldn't
It's
hear
pretty
it?
much
No, it's
low,
gone now.
yeah.
But...
Oh, yeah, we couldn't really hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, that works out then. But going back to this game, Predators and Kraken. I took the Kraken yesterday, minus 115. Now minus 118 and minus 120. Home favorites. This team is playing well, the Kraken. If they can get any kind of goaltending at all, this team is a playoff team, and the Kraken are showing it with their play. So I'm taking them here. They beat Nashville twice last year, 4-3 and 4-3, and then they lost 4-2. So 2-1 against the Preds last year. This Kraken team has improved a lot in the offseason, and I'll back them here at home. I backed them against Pittsburgh plus 175 winner, and I'll back them as a favorite here at home against the Predators minus 115 for me. You'd have to bet probably minus 118 or minus 120 this one. Dave, Predators, Kraken. Any interesting facts about these two teams' names?
Well, even though, despite the fact that most people in New Jersey are Devils, not everyone in Nashville are Predators. Hashtag me too. And Seattle has the dumbest name in the NHL. They should be the Orcas.
The Orcas. All right. Yeah, whoopsies on that Pens game. Only time Kraken stole my coin so far. Hey.
If I didn't hear that again in my life, I'd be completely satisfied.
Yeah, the Kraken steel coin thing, it annoyed me last year too because people would say Kraken steel coin, Kraken steel coin. Meanwhile, they were losing by giving up 5 or 6, losing by multiple goals. And I'm saying, how are they stealing coin? They're losing by a lot every game. Like, if anything, they're making people coin. But yeah, so it's a new year though. Where am I, DX? You're on Getting Wild with Terry and friends. Kraken name is awesome.
False.
Release the Kraken.
Second dumbest name, the Sabres and the Islanders.
Ooh. Occupancy's an Islanders fan, so we might things might get a little bit crazy.
It's what they
now
are,
here.
It's not the
most uncreative name because there are Islanders. They're on an island. It's like, come on, guys.
I thought it was at the Earl Bros Circus. No, definitely not. I promise you, Dave, I won't stop. LOL. So you'll be hearing the Kraken steel coin a lot going forward, apparently. Occupancy, Predators, and Kraken. What do you think here?
Yeah, it's a pass. This game is pretty evenly matched on the money line with the odds. It's almost a pick 'em. I like to take Kraken at big plus prices in these spots, but I would lean there. I think they're 8-5 to the over, 5.5 to the 6.5, 5 and 8. So I think I'm not really leaning on a total either, really. But yeah, nothing for me in that game.
All right, we'll move on to the final game of the night before we get to goalie pull segment, which talk about the other 4 games and then get to other picks. Yes, we have the Minnesota Wild and the LA Kings. You can find the Wild anywhere from plus 100 to minus 110. You can get LA Kings minus 110 to minus 115, 6.5s right across the board in this one. So I've received a little bit of flack from some people, which is going to happen, and it's probably going to happen until the end of time because it is getting wild with Terry and friends. I'm a Wild fan. I'm not going to try to hide that, but there are people out there that think that I cannot be impartial with the Wild. I would like to remind people that on the game against the Detroit Red Wings, I told people not to bet the Wild against the Detroit Red Wings because I had a bad feeling about that spot for them. And lo and behold, the Wild lost that game. So I am able to tell people to stay off the Wild. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I follow this team a lot. Yes, I want them to win every game. No, they won't win every game. But as I said to Dave, and Dave is still doing the experiment, the Wild will be a profitable team by the end of the year, and they will make the playoffs, and they will finish with over 100 points. I'm confident in that. But going into this game here, I took the Wild minus 102 on the money line. They've had 4 days off after the 4-0 loss to the Kraken, where they just look tired. The injuries, they look like they were injured. They Seattle manhandled them for most of the game. The Wild were shut out, horrible game. They've had 4 days to sit there and think about that loss, and then look towards the Kings, who beat them 7-6 earlier on in the year. Marc-Andre Fleury got pulled after, I believe, allowing 4 goals in the first period. Horrible start for him. Now the Wild have had 4 days off to think about that. Fleury will be in net today against this Kings team. I like the Wild to bounce back here. If you do want to back LA, I think you would want to look at them in the first period. I think it is possible that they will have the quicker legs, as the Wild have been off for 4 days, and it is possible that they may get off to a bit of a slow start. But I like the Wild here to win this game, 4-2 in their last 6 games in LA as well. I like the Wild and Flower to bounce back in this one. And the Wild will be getting a little bit of injury reinforcement. Jordan Greenway will be returning to the lineup, playing with Joel Eriksson Ek and Matt Boldy tonight. Dave, Wild and Kings, what do you think here?
Yeah, the name Getting Wild with Terry and Friends is definitely better than Getting Blue Jays with Terry and Friends. So, props on that. But yeah, I'm on this game. I am betting the Wild half a unit because Terry's forcing me to and continues to force me to. Currently, I'm down a little over 1.5 units. But that's 3 bets. So thank you, Terry. I also really enjoy betting the Kings. I don't think Quicks has lost it, and I like how they play that pretty type of hockey. Sometimes they just don't always shoot as much as I like them to. Oh, that's kind of changing. But the best part about betting the Kings is I can post gifts from Monty Python and the Holy Grail in Twitter. And make videos on them, and it's just fun to me. But I'm betting the Wild for half a unit, but that's not my play in this game. My real play is the over. I'm going to hit one of these goddamn overs with the Wild if it kills me. I know that they're regressing back to the mean, but this goalie still doesn't impress me, and every time I don't bet the over hits, and he gives up a bajillion goals, and both of these teams are in the back half of the league and giving up goals. So it's a perfect time. So, God damn it. Give me the over.
All right. I won't comment on that. I won't comment on that, but it's not better than rating Vikings with Terry and Friends.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, when I decided to start the show, and I got people's input on the name, 2 people suggested Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, and I said no because I didn't want my name to be involved. I wanted it to be something kind of different where it didn't have to involve me.
Homer picks.
Yeah, something that didn't have to involve me. But basically, people insisted, 2 people suggested the idea, and people liked it. So that is why the show is called Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. But
I like it.
Occupancy, Wild and Kings. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I got angles, different sides, different opportunities. I lean with Minnesota here. I would wonder what their team total, 3.5 would be current price. You got to shop around for that. But the way I look at the Wild I look at Joel Eriksson Ek. He's second on the team in shots. This is a player. He's put a lot of time in with this Wild team. Just take a look, kind of where he started. 16-17 season. He made it 15 NHL games and look where he is now. So, with teams, I look for just shooters that I can kind of constantly go to. Trevor Moore on the Kings is one of them. I would look for Fiala shot on goal too against his old team. I think that's interesting at -113. But really, like my best play in this game is that Joel Eriksson Ek over 2.5 shots at -132 at Bovada right now. He's hit it 4 out of his last 6. The Kings let up a lot of shots. They let up a lot of goals. So I really do like the Minnesota Wild in this spot. I don't do goal scorer props all that often, but when I do, they're Kirill Kaprizov props. That's who I would look at here. Gabe Vilardi on the Kings is definitely worth to look at. I cashed his shot on goal prop last week. I take a look at when I'm trying to break ties between 2 teams, I go to these team analytics and I look at scoring chances for. So it breaks down the amount of scoring chances against each team. So like the Devils have a 64% scoring chances for, which means they get way more opportunities than the other teams. Minnesota right now is at 51.7, and the Kings are at 51. So they're really close on that stat. And the other thing I look at a lot is high danger scoring chances allowed. So that looks at, they have their formula for what's considered a scoring chance. It's, shots, in the zone, and they do it, and then they give you a number that's how many times does a team let in those high danger scoring chances. And I'm just using this to break ties, with close teams. So I mean, the Kings are smack in the middle, 15th, at that stat right now. So I don't see a whole lot of unevenness with these two teams. Minnesota's been letting up a ton of high danger chances, but ultimately it's got to be a Minnesota team total or nothing for me.
Hey, I got a joke.
All right.
I got a wild joke. You
Oh,
want to hear it?
great.
Okay.
Not really, but go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. What do they call a salad made with mozzarella, tomato, and basil in Russia? A
I don't know.
kaprizov.
Nice.
I don't really know what to say, but okay.
You don't get it?
No.
Caprese salad is mozzarella.
Uh,
Anyways,
yeah.
next. Dun dun dun.
Terry showed up right in time in the Ice Guys shot for the Wild. No, I was watching the whole time. I just didn't talk until the Wild came up. I wasn't watching the whole time. I was watching most of it when I was able to. But throws 2 tomatoes. Okay, there we go. So to answer Occupancy's question earlier, the Wild team total over 3.5. I see it for plus 130 at Pinnacle, which is a pretty high, pretty nice price there. When it comes to Nick saying that I'm making him bet Minnesota, that is absolutely not correct. And actually, it scares me that Nick is betting Minnesota because when Nick fades Minnesota, we usually do pretty well. And now he's backing them. So I am a little bit worried. And if Minnesota does lose, Nick is going to hear about it. I promise you. I promise you about that. ISEX is what's the plus 625 goal scoring prop I heard earlier? I forgot. I think that was on the Ice Guys that you're talking about, and I think it's Jordan Greenway who's returning to the lineup. But I'm not 100% sure. Richie says, "Oh." Tim says, "Crickets."
That was
Tim
for my joke.
Yeah, Isaac laughs, and then Richie's like, "Thought your wild radar went off." Yeah, apparently, but yeah, I think that answers the questions there. We'll move on to the final 4 games that we did not discuss. I have them in the goalie poll segment here. Arizona Buffalo. I'm not taking Buffalo as minus 225 favorites. I'm sorry. Yes, I like betting this Buffalo team. Yes, they're going to be definitely good in spots as they have been, but minus 225. I can't take the Sabres, but there's no way in heck I'm taking the Arizona Coyotes either. So this game is ultimately a pass, 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 pass. Islanders, Rangers. Islanders 6-1 in their last 7 in Madison Square Garden. 5 of the last 6 games have ended with a shutout. 4 Islander shutouts, 1 Ranger shutout. So the team that wins usually gets a shutout. We'll see who it is today. I'm ultimately passing on the game because I don't want to take Islanders on a second night of a back-to-back, even against a team they've played very well against. And I don't really want to take the Rangers either. So that was a quick pass. Montreal, Detroit, a heavy lean towards Detroit, who's won their last 4 at home against Montreal, 6-2 in the last 8 meetings for the Red Wings. But ultimately, I didn't get involved with that one either. And then Vancouver, Ottawa, another game that I'm completely passing on. If I was going to take anything, I would be trying to fade Cam Talbot and take the Vancouver Canucks in some fashion. But ultimately, passing Ottawa 4-2 in the last 6 meetings. That game's ultimately a pass. Dave, final 4 games of the night for the NHL goalie pull segment. What do you think here?
Nope, I've had enough.
All right. Occupancy, the final 4 games. What do you think?
Yeah, hockey is one of those sports, like the Big Four, that like it's just a slow grind. Like it's like you're tired and you're kind of just talking about these low event things like 3-4 goals in a game compared to all these other sports. It's like I feel it too. But this slate picks up kind of halfway through the night tonight. I'm taking a look and I think I might have a ton of action um, in the second half of the slate now that I'm seeing a couple of these teams and these opportunities. The last games, I am going to fade Talbot, but it's more also the back of Martin. I've cashed with him in the past, big games on national TV, and this kid got NHL wins. So I'm looking to back the Canucks there.
All right,
Um,
occupancy. I have to
oh,
interrupt
go
you.
for it, go for it, go for it.
Ah, this is heartbreaking. The Flyers announced that Carter Hart will not play tonight due to
No,
illness. In turn, Samuel Eriksson has been recalled from the Phantoms to back up Felix Sandstrom.
Sandstrom.
So Felix Sandstrom will start for the Flyers. This absolutely changes a lot.
What is it
Obviously,
with today? The fucking I bet college basketball the coach resigns in the morning before the first game of the season, and now this shit. The hell.
yeah,
Two of my
yeah.
best bets.
It
God
is.
damn
It
it.
is what it is, unfortunately. But occupancy. Continue on. Sorry for interrupting.
I lean under in the Islanders Rangers game. I would want to take the Islanders another chance at the plus price, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Um, Buffalo money line as always. Um, Jake Allen save props. What are those at today? Those are low because they play Detroit. I mean, Detroit doesn't shoot the puck all the time, but sometimes, Allen's props are over 30 and he's getting a 29 and a half, 28 and a half I'm seeing. So, um, still getting into that second part of the card, but most of my action is going to be in that Vegas, New Jersey, and Minnesota games tonight.
It says in Sandstrom we trust. Well, we're gonna have to, aren't we? If you've already pulled the trigger on Flyers money line, unless you're cashing out, which I'm not, you are definitely trusting him. Sabers for the something. I won't play the last one. Sorry, Tim. But we'll move on to other picks. College basketball mainly being the only other picks. And I'm not taking any college basketball. I took Marshall against a team who doesn't have a name, and the team who doesn't have a name somehow won. So that will be my only college basketball bet of my career. It is now over
Who told
at
you to
0-1.
beware of those shitty ass schools that are only like 2 point I mean, they've lost outright.
Yes, basically, yes. So my college basketball career is over now, for until further notice, at least. Dave, other picks, college basketball. What do you like on
By
tonight? I
the
think it's
way,
a
there are
smaller
also
slate,
three
isn't it?
college football games tonight. But besides that, I'll do both. College basketball. I took Montana over Duquesne. I got it at 5. It's down to 3.5. Solely, most of my plays in the beginning of the season, because there aren't stats, are based off of indexing and systems for totals until we get 2 or 3 weeks in. I think I want to say I got like originally 6 points of line value. Anyways, Montana. And then the other one, Hartford and Sacred Heart. I originally had 5.5 points of line value. I had Hartford as the favorite, and I got him at 4.5. Then I woke up to a line that was +8, and I said, holy shit, what happened? Well, the coach resigned. He actually resigned last night, but I guess the news didn't get out. There are issues. I think he's disgruntled with the university, and he says that the university doesn't. There's no trainer that travels with the team and all this. I don't care what the reason is. He's gone, and I don't know how this is going to affect. I didn't rebet it. It's come back down to 6, which means people are hammering the shit out of it. Both two bad teams, and Hartford's the better team. But who knows how the coach being gone is going to affect them. Maybe there was turmoil. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they like the assistant. I don't know. But those are ones I bet. I'd stay away from Hartford. And yeah, they're dropping to D3. Well, all those schools could be D3 or butthead D1 schools. It doesn't matter. There's too many teams in basketball anyways. Anyway, those are the two games in basketball. And then in football, I took Ohio money line at -122 over Miami of Ohio. And it had nothing to do with indexing. It had primarily to do with the one thing that Ohio does really well, and that's throw the ball. They were able to score a bunch of points and beat Buffalo, who's a good team. And the thing that Miami of Ohio can't do is they're not good at defending the pass. And also, they've scored 11 points a game is what they've averaged. It was 11 or 18. Anyways, this team doesn't – it's not 11, it's 18. They average 18 points a game. But the reason why is because they've had to run the ball the whole time because Brett Gabbert, their quarterback's out. Well, he's been back for 2 games. Problem is he's only thrown 1 TD, and of the 2 games, one of the games he didn't even throw over 200 yards, and he's throwing at about a 55% completion clip. So it doesn't much matter that he's back. They still stink. You can lay the points or the money line. The money line's now I think -135, but take the Ohio Bobcats, Ohio University Bobcats.
All right.
Maction
John
action,
Taylor
baby.
Says Hartford is dropping to D3. I'm guessing they move divisions, right? Is that what happens?
Yeah. Okay. So if Hartford played Queens, North Carolina, who's just started this year, their 4-year ascent. When you come up to Division I, I think you can't go to the tournament for 4 years. If Queens, North Carolina played Hartford 100 games, it'd be 51-49. They still stink no matter what. All those lower division doesn't matter what division they're in. And there's Division II and III schools that could beat Division I school.
Very confusing for a Canadian that doesn't follow college sports, but
yeah,
the
Ohio Bobcats. Screw the Buckeyes.
There we go. Occupancy. Any other picks in any other sports before we get to best bets?
Yeah, I'm just getting into college basketball here. I was looking at the KenPom indexes and all these different things. Dave, how do we do with the under 150s on the?
We went 2-1. We went 2-1. The 2 you liked hit. So the Arizona, who do they play? Arizona played Nichols, and that's soared over the total. But Michigan went under, and North Carolina game went way under.
Yeah, so I was just seeing if that applied. We don't have any today. But,
I don't think that. And by the way, I will explain it to everyone. It's not a secret. I throw all my cap and stuff out there. There's a system that I have where I like to bet the under when a team is favored by 15 points or more and the total is 150 or more, because usually that team that's favored that much takes their foot off the gas, except if you're Arizona. They didn't give a shit. They just kept firing away. Anyway, that's the system you're talking about. And some days you'll have a bunch of games that fit that, and some days you won't have any. But
yeah. Yep, I'll be looking live, kind of some community plays and seeing what you guys think. It's an exciting time of the year for college hoops.
All right, we will move on to the best bet segment. We will start with over under here. For me, I am copying occupancy. I'm taking Minnesota team total over 3.5 because that's an awesome price. I'll be adding it to my card after the show. Nick is going with Calgary, New Jersey over 6.5, -125. Tim is taking Hartford team total over 67.5 in college basketball, -110. Ryan is going with Vegas and Toronto under 6.5. Occupancy, you're going, as I said, with Minnesota team total over 3.5. IceX is going with Dallas team total under 2.5. I only see 3.5 on BetStamp, so I will find out what the odds are for under 2.5 after the show. And then Toller is taking New York Islanders and New York Rangers first period under 1.5 at +110. Dave, what do you think here for over under?
The Wild and the Kings over 6.5 goals.
All right. Over 6.5. Again, I will find the odds for that after the show is done. Going on to dog of the day. For me, it was going to be, I actually had typed in there Philadelphia Flyers or Vegas Golden Knights. I was kind of going back and forth which one I was going to choose. And the Philadelphia Flyers made that really easy with the goalie announcement. I'm taking Vegas Golden Knights, which I think are +103 or something. I'll get the odds after the show. Nick is going with the Winnipeg Jets. Tim is going with the ECU Pirates in college basketball. Occupancy, you are going Vegas Golden Knights as well. IceX is taking the Montreal Canadiens. And Toller is going with his Nashville Predators. Dave, is there a dog on today's slate that you like?
The Flyers money line's already it went from 115 down to 100. Now it's already up to plus 114. Fuck it, I'm gonna go with that. That's the only dog I'm betting, and I already bet it. So let's do it. I mean,
yeah, St. Louis has not been playing.
They've lost 7 straight games in a row. I mean, it's one guy. I mean, granted,
multiple goals. Yeah. So Philadelphia
plus
Flyers
114. Plus 114.
Right. Yeah. And we'll go to best bets. My hockey best bets have been jinxed. No matter what I take, nothing seems to go right. So I will take the Wild money line so I don't jinx anybody else's bets. Plus 100. Nick is going with Toronto Vegas under 6.5. Tim is taking Georgia Southern plus 3.5. Ryan is taking St. Louis Blues money line. Oh, interesting. Occupancy is going with Vegas Golden Knights money line. IceX is taking Stamkos to score a goal, and Toller is going with the Devils money line. Dave, on this card of today, what is your best bet on the slate?
My best bet I'm not putting down here because I don't believe in taking the juice. I got it at minus 122. That's the money line for the Ohio Bobcats. So do I want to lay the 2.5? Is it 2.5? Yeah, you know what? I'll lay the spread. That's fine. It's University of Ohio minus 2 at minus 110. I have it at minus 122 on the money line. And
basketball, right?
No.
College football?
Maction action, baby. Football. Tuesday night Maction action. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday.
Yeah, well, some people don't know about that kind of stuff. So, all right, college football.
You need to learn.
Ohio Bobcats for Dave.
They do have a basketball team too, but they're not playing today. So, yeah.
FanDuel has it set at 2.5. Okay, no worries. I'll check and find a good price for you. You can have NHL, college basketball, NHL.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I disagree with that 100%. But Drats, I'm going to do in college basketball now too. Kidding. LOL. LOL. One guy. Yeah, it is. It is one guy, but it is Carter Hart. Fade the goalie change. Fade the goal change. Does that mean taking the Blues? And yes, DX is 100% accurate. Most accurate comment of the day. College is poop. So that is today's show. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. We are on every day, 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. Different people on. Whoever is free can come on. If you're interested on coming on Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, feel free to send me a Twitter DM. We're always looking for new faces and new opinions and new betting styles. So make sure to send us a message. If you haven't followed Dave or Occupancy or myself or anybody else that comes on the show, everybody's link is in the description below. So make sure to give everybody a follow. And he says no. So that means, yeah, continue taking Philadelphia. I like it. But that is today's show. Best of luck to everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.